CQ, CQ, CQ. CQ, CQ, CQ. Calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. The coffee is ready. I repeat, the coffee is ready. All stations, please stand by. Welcome to the 50th edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. We gather here every Sunday at 7 o'clock a.m. local time on the 442.2 KE4 CCB repeater that is located in Tennessee atop Holston Mountain, using a PL tone of 100 marked at 0 hertz. My name is Mac, Kilo India 4, Alpha Mike Delta, and I'm located in the sleepy community of Friendship, and I will be net control and barista for this session of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net is not affiliated with any clubs or organizations, but is intended to be a neutral source of information for the amateur radio. The purpose of this net is to discuss ham radio, exchange ideas, radio post on the coffee. During the net, there is an emergency. Please indicate so with a break, and net control will pause the net and address your call. For more information about the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please visit our website and consider joining our email list. Our newsletter is sent out every Saturday around dinner time. I think JJ's sent a little earlier than that this week. But anyway, this email will provide access to the questions for the net ahead of time. cqtn.org/coffee. Before I take check-ins, is there anyone with news or announcements for the net? Any news or announcements check-ins, please call KI4AMD. Any stations bringing news or announcements for the net, please call now.
N9TN, November 9, Tango, November. The name here is JJ, and I have some news for the net.
Net Control recognizes our net founder, JJ, November 9, Tango, November. Any other stations with news or announcements would like to get in on this before we move to the next phase? Well, JJ, I don't hear anybody else with news or announcements, so let's go ahead with your news and or announcement. N9TN, KI4AMD.
All right. First of all, I would like to say thank you, Mac, for taking the net this morning and the last couple weeks in absence of me. Taking a little break on ham radio here. I appreciate it very much. The first thing I have is, even though we're not affiliated with any clubs or organizations, what we want to be is the news source for all your things going on in ham radio. So if you do have a club-related news or something that the club is doing or something that you are doing, please let us know. We like to know that kind of thing. Like if your club is meeting for a special training or something, just let us know. That way we'll put it on the calendar here and get it out there. Somebody may be interested in what you've got going on. Also, if you know of a silent key in the area, we like to focus on those. So if anybody knows anything about anybody passing away, we like to recognize those on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net as well. So it's not just news about the Coffee Net; it's news for our area. So please utilize this section of the net. All right, here's my two news items. Stand by. All right, the Sunday Morning Coffee Net first year anniversary is going to be here on the 442.2. We're going to be hosting as Trivia Night on Saturday, December the 28th at 7 p.m. So the Sunday Morning Coffee Net first year anniversary, we're going to be doing Trivia Night here on this repeater on Saturday, December 28th. That's coming up. It's exactly 20 days from now. 20 days from now, we'll be doing our first anniversary party, celebration, whatever you want to call it. Also, in light of our first anniversary, we're going to be doing a Sunday Morning Coffee Net Eyeball QSO breakfast. It's going to be at 8 a.m. Saturday, January 11th, and it's going to be at the Bondo Burger in Blounteville. 3500 Highway 126, Bluntville, Tennessee. That's where we're going to have the breakfast. You're going to be paying for yourself, so make sure that you know that. Bring some money. Mr. JJ is not going to pay for you. I'll be lucky to pay for myself at this point. So, Eyeball QSO breakfast, 8 a.m. on January 11th. We'll talk more about that as the time gets closer. And that is all I have for the net as far as news. And I'll turn it back over to you, Mac. N9TN, Boring, Tennessee.
Oh, JJ, before I let you go, N9TN from KI4AMD, I think I got all of that about the breakfast, except I need to double check the name of that burger. Did you say it was called Bondo Burger?
Yeah, Bondo, like bondoing cars together. This guy used to be a car fixer-upper. He used to do body work. He got out of it and started selling burgers, so same location. He converted his shop into a burger joint. It's pretty cool, actually. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to you. N9TN.
I gotta say, the idea of mixing synthetic body filler with burgers does not sound particularly appetizing, but I'm intrigued. It's a little early to say if I'll be able to make that, but I'll definitely have it on my calendar and check that out. Thank you for that announcement. And since JJ explained kind of the purpose of the news and announcements, let's give one more chance for any stations that might have changed their mind. If you have that club-related news and announcement or silent key announcements, we're not affiliated with any clubs, but we are by no means anti-club. We encourage you to be active in your local club, and maybe a couple of them. So one more chance, news and announcements for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Please call KI4AMD.
Green Bean got all kinds of money. Green Bean has all kinds of money. That gold bean money he got out there. He's got all kinds of money for everybody at present. He's only wanting his gold's 9,500. He already got it.
Okay. Not sure what that was about, but thanks for the announcement there. Let's move down the list to stations that are wishing to check in and out. Let's see. Take check-ins from any stations in and out. Stations that don't like this whole question thing and don't want to be called back during the net. Please call KI4AMD.
Kilo November 4, Mike Victor Hotel.
Control recognizes Kilo November 4, Mike Victor Hotel. Can I get your name and location real quick before we release you for the rest of the net?
Yeah, this is Larry. Kilo November 4, Mike Victor Hotel over in Greenville, Tennessee. Yeah, I'm going to be going to church here in a little bit, so I will not be able to participate in the net. So I'm asking to be in and out.
Your church has earlier services than mine did. We had an 8:30 church service until our building got flooded out. One of the good things about meeting in the middle school is there's room for all of us to meet in one meeting. We do it at 11. It's the more popular one, so I don't have to be at church until Sunday school at 9:45 this morning. All right, in and out check-ins. In and out check-ins for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Please call KI4AMD.
Take in and out. Kilo 4. David.
All right, David, can I have that call sign one more time? I think I got Kilo 4 Quebec, and there was a little bit of static on your last two characters there.
Mike Lee.
All right, Net Control recognizes Kilo 4 Quebec, Mike Lima. David, thank you for checking in checking in and out on the net today. Next station, in and out station. Please call now.
Net Control.
KI4A, check in and out. Kilo Mike 4, Bravo Mike Delta, Derek, North Carolina.
Net Control recognizes Kilo Mike 4, Bravo Mike Delta, Derek in Valence, North Carolina. And I think there was a double. The other station that tried to squeeze in there, please call now.
Yeah, this is N4NT, November 4, November Tango, Adam in Bristol, Tennessee. Checking in and out because I'm at work, but I do have the recording going back at the house for the YouTube. Just wanted to mention that. 73 N4NT.
Thanks for that, Adam. Now I'll be just a little bit more nervous knowing that all of YouTube will be watching me. All right, or listening anyway. Can't see me. Next station, in and out station. Please call KI4 AMD.
Kilo 4 Hotel Quebec. King Blunkville eating breakfast, but I'll be listening. K4 HQ.
I think I got Kilo 4 Hotel Quebec. I'll pause a minute for you to correct me if that was wrong. And what was your name again?
Name is Ken, K-E-N.
All right, Net Control recognizes Ken in Blunkville, Tennessee at Kilo 4 Hotel Quebec. Thank you for that. Next in and out station, please call now.
Kilo 8 Whiskey November.
Net Control recognizes Kilo 8 Whiskey November. Can I get your name and location, please?
Sure can. Name here is Bill. Lost title, love. We're in Johnson City, right on the edge of Gray, though. So our zip code is Gray, but I guess we're in Johnson City. We're fairly new to the area, trying to get to know some people on the net. So again, the name is Bill. Boston item, love.
Well, welcome to the net. Hopefully we'll hear from you again next week. Next in and out stations, please call KI4 AMD. Last call for in and out check-ins. If you want to check in, if you want credit for checking into the net without having to answer the questions, now's your time. Call KI4 AMD. All right, nothing heard. I think it's time to move on down to stations that would like to call back during the net, or participating stations. Let's see. I'm going to refer to my script real quick. The Sunday morning Coffee Net operates as a participation-based net with the following format. You'll be asked a series of 3 questions, and then we'll conclude the net with a second round for additional comments in your 73. If at any time during the net you need to refill your coffee, please inform Net Control. With that, let's take regular check-ins. Regular check-ins for the Sunday morning Coffee Net. Please call Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Now, let's spread it out a little bit there. Don't everybody call at once. Regular check-ins for the Sunday morning Coffee Net. Please call Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta.
November 4 Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City.
Net Control recognizes November 4 Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City. Thank you for checking in there, Les. Next station, please call now.
Net Control, please check in. Kilo Delta 4 November Tango, Dwayne in Bristol.
Net Control recognizes Kilo Delta 4 November Tango, Dwayne in Bristol. Thank you for checking in today, Dwayne. Next station, please call now.
Net Control, please check in. Kilo Delta 4 Whiskey Mike X-Ray, KD4 WMX, Ken in Quiet Lodi.
Net Control recognizes KD4 WMX, my neighbor Ken over in Quiet Lodi. Thank you for checking in today, Ken. Next station, please call now.
Whiskey 4 Mike Tango Oscar, Maynard, Bluff City, Tennessee.
Net Control recognizes Whiskey 4 Mike Tango Oscar, Maynard in Bluff City, Tennessee. Morning, Maynard. Next station, please call now. We're now taking regular check-ins for the Sunday morning Coffee Net. Please call Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. This sounded like a short net. Let's go ahead and roll it to the top here. Let's start with our net founder, N9TN from KI4AMD. Did you intend to participate in the net this morning, JJ?
Yes, sir. Let it rip.
All right. You know what? You guys probably, some of you didn't get the email, so you probably need to know the questions. Today's questions are going to be, and JJ made me make up my questions myself. So for topic 2, I kind of recycled last week's question. Topic 1 is based on an experience I had in the last week or so. I want to know, what do you think about long path propagation or long delayed echoes? These are not exactly the same thing, but I think they're related, maybe. I want to know what you think about it. If you've ever experienced one, I really want to know your story about it. Question number 2 kind of derives from last week's question number 2. We asked last week what time is the proper time to erect a Christmas tree. This week I want to know, what is the proper time to take it down? When do you take your Christmas tree down? For topic number 3, that question is fixed. You guys know it. It's what's for breakfast. With that, let's go to JJ, N9TN from KI4AMD. What are your answers to today's question?
Oh boy, Mac. Well, thank you very much again for taking the net. And yeah, I'm one of them bad net founder, net control manager type people. I make you poor subordinates make up your own questions. Oh darn, what a shame. Anyway, you have some good ones, but I'm not going to be able to participate in the first one because I don't even know what a long delayed echo is. Maybe you can enlighten me. But long path propagation, yeah. When you work HF, you're going to deal with a lot of long path propagation, especially during the time of gray line. But anyway, question number 2, when's the proper time to remove a Christmas tree? Well, I'm a big, huge bah humbug. Right now would be a great time to get rid of that thing. Anyway, I mentioned last week that after the 12 days of Christmas, but apparently that didn't swing too well. I'm going to just say the weekend after New Year's. The weekend after New Year's, so it will be on January the 4th. January the 4th is when I would take down the Christmas tree if I had one. I don't even put up one anymore. So anyway, question number 3, what is for breakfast? Oh boy, I had some yogurt and some homemade granola to put on top of it. And of course, I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee, and I am all jacked up, Mac. Back to you, my friend, N9TN.
All right, JJ. Well, since you asked, I'll elaborate a little bit on that long delayed echo thing. So with long path propagation, you might hear a station on the short path, and then kind of catch it being echoed by a few seconds on the long path. So you might hear some distortion in the audio because you're actually hearing the signal come in 2 different ways with 2 different times. A long delayed echo is when you hear an echo from another station that is delayed enough that it took too long for it to have just gone around the world the wrong way. Like maybe it made multiple trips around, or it bounced off an alien spaceship or something. It's one of those little bit creepy effects of radio that has been observed since the early days of radio. And nobody has a real good explanation for it yet. So it's an interesting topic for conversation, especially if somebody knows the answer. Somebody can tell us what causes a long delayed echo for real. I'd like to know what you think about it. So real quick, JJ, now that I've told you a little bit about long delayed echoes, what do you think? Is it alien spacecraft, moon bounces, or does it get trapped in the ionosphere and circle the Earth about 4 times before it finishes its trip?
Well, like always on tests, I'll choose D, all the above. I think it all has to do with propagation is a fun thing to study. I think it has to do with all kinds of situations, and alien or a space-time continuum type thing would definitely not be out of the question, but I'm going to say for the sake of sanity that it has probably something to do with the ionosphere and something to do with bouncing signals off off other antennas. No, it probably has. It probably wraps around the Earth a few times before it comes back into your station. But I wouldn't know. I don't do HF anymore because of all the noise here. Hasn't happened to me in a very long time. And TN, back to you.
All right. Well, thank you for that, JJ, and insight there on our questions. Let's move on down the list to Les in Johnson City. November 4, Tango Lima Bravo from Kilo India 4 Alpha, Mike Delta. What do you think about long path propagation and the long delayed echoes? And hopefully, if you've ever experienced them, tell us your story. This is KI4AMD.
This is November 4, Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City. Just like to say good morning to everybody on the net. And on the first question, haven't been into HF that long, so if I've experienced that situation, didn't know of it. Don't know a lot about it and all that. But anyway, the answer to the second question is that we like to keep the tree up until after the New Year. And like JJ said, probably the first weekend would be very good on taking it down. And the what's for breakfast, probably a dish Special K this morning. So I'll give it back to you there, 73s. But I will be back for the 73 round. But anyway, this is November 4, Tango Lima Bravo.
All right, thank you, Les, for those comments and for answering the questions there, at least as much as you could. Welcome to the world of HF. The story that prompted Jeanette Control to come up with question number 1 was I've got a ham alert set for Antarctica, and every now and then I hear some folks calling from I get an alert from folks calling from Antarctica. I've been trying to get an Antarctica station in the logbook. Haven't gotten one yet. Recently, I heard one. It was a Morse code alert, and I tuned into the frequency, and I could hear the CW. The signal was clear, except but it was completely unreadable because it sounded like the guy was on top of himself and offset by a few milliseconds. So his dits and daws were filling in their own gaps. So it sounded like a bunch of varying dits and daws with very short gaps that didn't make any sense in the Morse code sense. And the only explanation I could think of for it, because it didn't quite match a pileup. Both frequencies were the same, and the transmission started and stopped together. My guess was that I was hearing him on 2 different paths, and there was just a slight offset in those signals, causing me to be unable to copy it, which is a shame. I still don't have Antarctica in the logbook. But that's my story for question number 1. Let's move down the list to KD4NT, Dwayne in Bristol. What are your answers to the questions this morning, Dwayne?
Oh, good morning, everybody. What do you think about long path propagation or long delayed echoes? Have you ever experienced them? Well, I haven't experienced the echo, but I think that long path propagation is pretty good. If I understand it right, pretty much you get long path propagation if you're contacting somebody on the other side of the world, Russia or Italy or whatever. I like it pretty good. So, and there's a lot of different entities involved in long path propagation. But anyway, that's about all I know about that. When is the proper time to remove a Christmas tree? Well, I'd say right after New Year's. Get that thing out of there. And what's for breakfast? Biscuits and gravy. KI4 AMD KD4NT.
All right, thanks for those comments. I'll clarify a little bit on the long path propagation question. Since many of us, I'm sure, probably hold to the view that the Earth is roughly spheroid, long path propagation refers to when the signal comes around the wrong way around the world. So from you to any other station on the planet, there is there are two great circle paths, so kind of like a straight line except on the surface of the sphere. And one of them is going to be shorter than the other for you and just about every point on Earth except that one that's exactly opposite you on the other side. I think for most stations here it would be somewhere in the Indian Ocean. With a long path propagation, sometimes you'll hear the station twice, like I did with that Antarctica station, with a short delay between the signals. Or you might even, really cool thing, hear yourself on the long path, where I guess any path that there is only one path that goes around the world back to your own station, but that's really long. That would be really cool. I have not heard myself on HF yet, but that would be a fun thing to experience. Let's see. With that, let's slide down the list to my neighbor Ken over in the quiet community of Lodi, KD4WMX from KI4AMD. What do you think about long path propagation, long delayed echoes, and Christmas tree removal, and also what's for breakfast?
All right, Mac. Appreciate you picking up the net. Good morning to everybody on the net. This is KD4WMX in Lodi, and just a record, Elsie is doing fine with his decorations on him with an extension cord. But y'all know what I'm talking about, ask Emmett. And I haven't experienced the long propagation problem or the echo. I do talk on it HF, but I haven't really experienced it, so can't really comment on that. When's the proper time to take the Christmas tree down? I'm like everybody else, right after New Year's. What's for breakfast? Probably bacon and eggs and toast. Had pancakes and bacon yesterday. That was good with bananas on it. But today I'll probably have bacon, eggs, and toast. Back to you, Matt. This is KD4WMX.
All right, thanks for those comments. Sorry I didn't come up with a question number one that would have a little more discussion, but glad to hear that Elsie is doing all right with her extension cord. Yeah, I kind of thought you had her plugged in with an extension cord and not running her own batteries. I think it was the Wednesday night net when somebody was concerned that Elsie's batteries might be running dead. All right, let's see. With that, let's slide down south of the border again to Bluff City. Maynard, W4MTO from KI4AMD. What do you think of long path propagation, removal of Christmas trees, and eating your breakfast this morning?
Good morning, everybody on the net. Happy Sunday. I haven't experienced anything with long path propagation or echoes or anything like that yet. We'll find out here pretty soon once we get a wire up. Question number 2. According to my wife, Christmas is over on the 25th, and the tree comes down on the 26th with everything that goes with it. It's over with. She's done with it. Get it down. And what's for breakfast? Not sure yet. We haven't got that far. So I'll send it back to you, Mac. W4MTO.
Well, thank you for those comments there, Maynard. So a lot of folks here not really experienced any of the echo things, or even read a bunch about them and made up your own theories about what causes long delayed echoes, or what it's like to have to hear an echo on the long path. Let's see. That brings me down to the end of my list. Your net control should weigh in on question number 2. When do we take the Christmas tree down? Our Christmas tree comes down around New Year's, which looks like it was a pretty common answer for folks. We don't hold it out until Epiphany, like some folks. If you're into the 12 days of Christmas, that is December 25th to January 6th, I believe. The traditional day that I guess the Orthodox Church celebrates the visit of the Magi to Jesus. Our tree is a farm cut tree. We use a live tree. You can't keep it up all year. I think it's a fire hazard eventually. But to hold that off as long as possible, we actually go to a choose and cut farm And this year and the previous year, we went to one that is very close to our home. Probably had the tree out of the ground and in the stand within 30 minutes. All right, I'm at the end of my list of check-ins, so it's time for more regular check-ins or rechecks for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Regular check-ins or rechecks for the Sunday morning Coffee Net. Please call KI4AMD.
Net Control.
Net Control, this is November 4, Charlie Sierra Golf, N4 CSG. Name here is Chris, located in Gate City.
Net Control recognizes November 4, Charlie Sierra Golf, Chris in Gate City. And I think somebody else was thinking about it, the other station that was thinking about trying to check in. Give it another try.
Net Control. Check in November 4, Delta Tango Bravo. That's N4 DTB. David of Bluff City.
Net Control recognizes November 4, Delta Tango Bravo. David in Bluff City. Thank you for checking in there, David. Another station, please call now.
Net Control, this is Kilo 4 Tango Whiskey Papa, Bill in Kingsport.
Net Control recognizes a double. We had Kilo 4 Tango Whiskey Papa, Bill in Kingsport. You won that one. Station from the double. Give it another try.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I usually just send out that one solid Net Control and listen. So I try to keep the double to the minimum at least. But this is Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Victor Charlie. That's Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Victor Charlie. Marcus in Johnson City.
Net Control recognizes Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Victor Charlie. Marcus in Johnson. Thank you for taking in. Morning, Marcus. Next station. Call now. All right. Since I got a few more check-ins before the end of the regular round, I'll discuss the questions a little bit. First question is all about serious echoes. So we're talking about long path propagation. Heard the station again in a second. The long path, where they kind of distort their own transmission, or long delayed echoes. Long delayed echoes is so long that it takes longer than it should have if it just went around the world the wrong way. I want to know if you've experienced either of these effects, and even if you have or you haven't, I want to know your theories on what causes them or anything you'd like to say about them. What do you think about long path propagation and long delayed echoes? That's question one. Question two is follow on to last week's question about the Christmas tree. I wanted to know when you put it up last week. This week I want to know when you take it down. What's for breakfast? Gate City, November 4, Charlie Sierra Golf, 4 Alpha Mike Delta. What do you think about long path propagation?
Well, good morning. Actually, I've never experienced it. Never have heard an echo or anything. Heard my own echo, I guess, but never have experience. I don't know what really causes it. I guess it just gets up in the atmosphere and stratosphere and bounces around until it gets back around to you. I found really not much of an idea, but I guess that's my take on it. As far as the Christmas tree, we're after Thanksgiving. It don't have to be the day after Thanksgiving, but after Thanksgiving the tree goes up, and then right after New Year the tree comes down. So that's usually what we do anyway. But anyway, I'll say 73 to you and all the rest of the people on the net, and I'll be listening around a little bit. Have a good rest of your day, N4 CSG.
Here you go. One more question. What's for breakfast?
Wife's in there frying some bacon right now. I really don't know what else is going on, but definitely have some bacon, maybe some biscuits and gravy. I don't know. But anyway, 73, and have a good rest of your day. 73, N4 CSG.
Okay, well, thank you for checking into the net today. We'll be back around for final comments of 73s a little later. David, let's see, one of our other net control stations, N4 DTB from KI4AMD. What do you think about mysterious atmospheric echoes, or do they come from space? Removal of a Christmas tree and breakfast this morning.
I have never experienced it, and I really don't know a whole lot about either one, so I can't even go into theories. Question number 2. I'm going to give everybody a little history lesson on question 2, because if you go back in time, you have a time after Christmas called Christmas time, and a lot of people would have kept their Christmas trees up until February the 2nd. That's usually that used to be when people used to take them down. But now Mom was always wanting to take it down December 26th. So that's a little history lesson on question 2. And sometimes I don't even take mine down. Since, I just call it Easter tree, and so. But I actually had to move it, so I did take it down. We've been doing some painting. So, and question number 3, what's for breakfast? Probably oatmeal and toast. Back to net control.
I like that idea of having a tree up all the way through Easter. I'd have to I get my tree though. Of course, with the artificial trees, you could do that without any problems. Like that, I like having a real living tree, or tree, I guess, when you cut it out of the ground. But I like to have that in my house. Or if I was going to do something like that, I'd have to have a tree in a pot of soil. I'd have to think about that. All right, let's fly down to 4 TWP KI4 AMD. What do you think about mysterious atmospheric echoes, removal of your Christmas tree, breakfast this morning? Kilo 4, Tango Whiskey Papa, Kilo India 4, Alpha Mike Delta. You still with us, Bill?
Okay, you broke up a little bit there. I didn't hear my call sign. This is Kilo 4 Tango Whiskey Papa. As far as the long path propagation, I've never experienced any kind of echo, so, I don't really have much to say about that. As far as the tree goes, used to, when I worked at the Eastman, I worked shift work, so I would put it up at my long break around Thanksgiving and then take it down on my first long break after New Year's. Now I just put it up after Thanksgiving and take it down after New Year's. And for breakfast, I think maybe just some biscuits and bacon and coffee. Kilo 4 Tango Whiskey Papa.
Thanks for those answers. Thanks for participating in Internet today. Let's fly down to the other side of I-81, KO4 EBC from KI4 AMD. What do you think about the mysterious atmospheric echoes removal?
Mac, you're barely holding the repeater. How am I sounding? This is Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Victor Charlie in Johnson City. Testing my audio.
Marcus, you're on. Sounds perfect. Looking around to see if I've got anything weird going on in my station. All of my diagnostics look good.
You're in the weeds pretty bad. If everybody can hear me, good morning. This is Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Victor Charlie. Name's Marcus, and I'm located in Johnson City, Boones Creek area. Question number 1. Well, when I think of long path, I don't think of receiving. I think of transmitting. First thing that rings a bell in my mind is 2-beam antennas. For instance, if I'm in Tennessee and I'm trying to reach a station in Europe, instead of beaming east, I would beam west, and the station in Europe would do the same. Instead of beaming east, he would beam, or he would do the opposite. So it's 2 beam antennas, usually just pointed opposite, so they're taking instead of the short path, the long path. That's what I think of that, just first thing. And I've never experienced the echo. Personally, I think I've maybe heard some over the radio, but that might have been feedback or something. Question number 2, it really don't matter to me whenever the Christmas tree, goes up or goes down. I just kind of go with the flow there, and whatever the YL wants, she can put it up, and whatever her schedule suits, I'll work with that. And question number 3, I haven't had breakfast yet, but I've had my cup of coffee, so I don't really know, but I think some oatmeal maybe. This is KO4EVC. I just noticed I'm off frequency.
All right, thanks for the Marcus, and yeah, that's another way to do the long path is point your Yagi the wrong way, and see if you can work that station. Then you might not hear the echo, but could still be working him on the long path. Of course, the backside of the Yagi has a lobe on it too, so maybe you're just working him QRP. While you were talking, I looked through stuff on my station, and I didn't see anything particularly wrong with it. My SWRs are good, and my power's maxed out. So this is all. I hope I'm getting into the repeater enough. Let's see. That brings me down to the end of the list again. We'll put out another call here to see if anybody else would like to participate in the net today. Any portion of the Sunday morning coffee net? Please call Alpha Mike Delta. All right, nothing heard there. Let's slide over to round 2. Comments and 73s. KI4 AMD, is this your first? You got any closing or 73 for the net there, JJ?
All right, Mac. Well, first of all, you're very poor into the repeater at this point. You're skipping in and out now. But anyway, I'd like to say thank you for taking the net. And for those that don't know, I take a lot of time off ham radio in December. And this is just for me, my own sanity. So you probably haven't heard me on much. I do take off, I usually don't take off the net, but since I had some help, I figured I would. So David will be on next week, and then I'll be back to regular scheduled programming after that, and I won't take off as much. Anyway, I'll say 7-3. Hope everybody has a great Sunday, and we'll catch y'all later. Back to you, Mac, N910, Boring, Tennessee.
Thanks for those comments. All right, next station, November 4, Tango Lima Bravo, West. Closing comments from John.
This is November 4, Tango Lima Bravo, West in Johnson City. Hope everybody has a good rest of the day and a good week next week. I think we're going to have quite a bit of rain after today for about 3 days, so everybody try to stay dry and all that. So I'll say 73s, and this is November 4, Tango Lima Bravo.
For that, look out for the weather. Let's see, list. KD4NT from KI4 AMD. Go ahead with your 73 and final comments there, Dwayne.
Okay, well, hope everybody's doing good out there today, and hope they have a good Sunday evening, or Sunday, and enjoys it. Be safe out there, and, well, that's about all I got. 7-3 to everybody. KI4 AMD and KD4NT.
All right, thanks for those comments there, Dwayne. Neighbor Ken over in Quiet Lodi, KD4WMX from KI4 AMD. Go ahead with your final comments there, Ken.
All right, this is KD4WMX, and I hope I'm hitting the repeater. First I want to say, Mac, appreciate you picking up the net. You do a fantastic job. And for anybody that's listening that doesn't know, I am Ham of the Year for Bristol Club. I'm rather proud of that. They had to vote for that. They voted me. I don't know why, but they did. But I'm proud of it. And hope everybody has a fantastic week and a good Sunday. I'll say 7-3 everybody, and we'll forward to net next week. K84 WMX, saying 7-3 and clear.
Those comments, Ken. Hey, before I slide down the list, can you flip over to the reverse and see what I sound like on the reverse? All right, K84 WMX from KI4AM. Hearing me clearly on the reverse. Thanks for that. You're actually a little itchy on the reverse there, Ken. Thanks for helping me with that diagnostic a little bit. All right, I'm going to slide down the list. Maynard, final comments from Bluff City.
No final comments from Bluff City. We shall have a great week, and yeah, it's going to be wet Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Today's going to be warm, be 57, so get out and enjoy that back porch if you got one. I might put a little sweatshirt on. But, everybody have a good week. 7-3, be safe out there. W4MTO.
All right, moving back over to Brisbane Gate City, N4, Silver 4, Charlie Sierra Golf, Kilo 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Go ahead with your final comments and say the three there, Chris.
All right, well, I'll say 73 to everyone, and first time for me checking in on this net. So JJ come in on the Gate City net in Scott County and told us about it, but this is the first morning I've remembered it. But anyway, I'll say 73 to everyone, and hopefully we'll be able to remember it and check in with y'all again. And have a good rest of your day there. And 73 N4CSG.
All right, thanks for participating in the net with us today, and I hope to see you next week. Let's slide down the list to David in Bluff City, November 4 Delta Tango Bravo, 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Go ahead with your final comments in 73, David.
You have a good one there, Mac, and see everybody Thursday night on the Thursday night coffee after brew on the 146.880 repeater. So with that, I'll say 7-3 from N4 DTB back to net control.
I'll let you go. More about that repeater. Most importantly, what's the tone on that thing?
Give me 1 second, and I'll pull up the information.
88.5.
In the net movement, let me slide down and come back to David for the Thursday. So, Kilo 4 Tango Kilo 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Final comments in 73 for the net, Bill.
Just want to wish everybody a good week. Watch those calories. Don't go whole hog on that eggnog. And 73 to everybody. This is Kilo 4 Tango Whiskey Papa Clear.
Thanks for participating in our net today, Bill. Let's slide back up to David in Bluff City. See if we've got that 4 Delta Tango Bravo from Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Did you get the details on that repeater?
This is N4 DTB, and the details is it's got a tone of 88. Got a tone of 88, and it's on hosted mounted, the 146.880 with the negative offset.
Thank you there. So Thursday night after 146.880 on hosted mounted, 88 hertz, and a negative offset. Probably, but I'm sure. The final list to Marcus. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Victor Charlie, Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Go ahead, 3 and final comment.
This is Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Victor Charlie. Mike, I had a question for you. You were talking about that Antarctica thing happening. What band were you on? What frequency?
I believe I was on 15 meters. Remember exactly.
No copy.
Attempted Antarctica on 15 meters.
Gotcha, bud. Yeah, you're, I don't know what's going on with your system there. Maybe a mic cord or something, but you're pretty fuzzy. Anyway, hope everybody has a good week, and stay dry, and good net this week. everybody stay safe, and hope to see you next time. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Victor Charlie, 7-3.
Marcus. That brings us to the end of the net. I'm having a little trouble with the repeater off there. Kilo India 4, Mike Delta.